Welcome back to Dodgers Dugout Live, presented by Baja Flat. Welcome back to Dodgers Dugout Live, presented by Baja Blast, the official soft drink of Major League Baseball and Dodgers Nation. Get a Baja for a blast this MLB season and enjoy a refreshing splash of tropical lime flavor. The Dodgers, they beat the Rangers. This team's look absolutely scary. The offense continuing to score runs. This team continuing to win games, the best record in Major League Baseball. Also, we got an update from Blake Snell, who threw today. He faced live hitters at Dodger Stadium for the first time. We'll hear from Blake Snell, who also hilariously responded to a fan that trolled him on his live stream. We'll talk about that. There was a Rangers fan that was trying to rage bait Dodgers fans in the pavilion. I got a clip I'll show you from that. We'll hear from Dave Roberts. We'll hear from Emmett Sheehan. Shohei Ohtani hit his first home run of the season at Dodger Stadium, his first extra base hit, and he continued his streak of getting on base. All that more coming up next on Dodgers Dugout Live.
Nothing brings it together quite like Dodger baseball.
Los Angeles wins it 3-1.
The Dodgers are ruining baseball. Let's get 4 more wins and really ruin baseball.
Oh my goodness! Shohei Ohtani! Bounces one up the middle, hits to the back, over to first to beat the champ. You got the Dodgers stand tall and win back-to-back titles.
Big blue, bleed blue, and I'm out.
Live from the heart of Los Angeles, this is Dodgers Dugout Live with your host, Doug McCain.
What is up, Dodgers Nation, and welcome to another episode of Dodgers Dugout Live. My name is Doug McCain. You can follow me on X and Instagram at DMac_LA. If you're new to the channel, do us a huge favor. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the notification bell. Hit that like button. If you want to support every single episode, drop comments, drop likes. Helps the channel. This show is brought to you by GearUp.LA, the official merchandise store here at Dodgers Nation. It's a Saturday night. It's a nice little late night show. You know, we like to party on these weekend shows, so we got lots to get into. We'll break down the game. We'll also tell you everything you need to know about your boys in blue here on this Dodgers Dugout Live post-game edition. Filing into the comment section, I see you out there, Haley. Hi, Dodgers Nation, BC. Yet another series win for the Dodgers. We've got Surf says, let's go Dodgers. Happy birthday, Alex Vesia from Allison. Yes, the big 3-0 for Alex Vesia, who pitched very well today. Dave went to him late to get that final out, and he does it on his B-day, getting the job done. Can we please hit into more double plays? That's from Matty Man. Yeah, hey, lots of DPs last couple of days, but the Dodgers still getting those dubs. We've got Nufo, Happy Panda Express deal. We missed you last night, Dave. Yeah, I was at the game talking to players, getting the scoops, seeing what's going on. We've got Andrew. I get so juiced when we win, and then I see D-Mac immediately come on. Then later tonight, tomorrow, I'll see people react and weep about us winning again. You got to love it. All right, guys, we got lots to get into in the show. Lots to get into the show because it's like a little bit of a hybrid of post-game. Plus, we'll get into some other bigger topics. Dave Roberts did give some really good updates on the status of Tommy Edman and Blake Snell. So much to get into in the world of Dodger baseball. So much to get into. So, you know what we got to do? We got to get right into it.
Leading off, the hottest story in Dodger baseball.
All right, so first let's talk about this game, and then we'll backtrack and get into some of the news topics I'm going to get into. Today, the Dodgers had an opportunity to win another series, to build on their best record in baseball, and they did just that. The Dodgers, they took advantage of a really strong start from Emmett Sheehan, who made his best start of the season. We'll talk about some of those mechanical improvements, but the first takeaway from Emmett Sheehan's start tonight was the fact that he bounced back the way that he did. the fact that he gives up that home run early in this game to Brandon Nimmo and is able to settle down, that tells you a lot about the maturity and the continued growth of Emmett Sheehan. He gives up that bomb early on in this one, and Brandon Nimmo essentially provides all the offense for the Rangers. And you're going against Jack Leiter, so it's another young pitcher going up against. But the first inning, you get the first after Brandon Nimmo hits that home run off of Emmett Sheehan. And you're thinking to yourself, wait a second, is this going to be a rough outing for Sheehan? Is he going to trend in the wrong direction? Dave Roberts said before the game, they were just looking for progress, for momentum. And in that first inning, if you look at the pitch that Nimmo homered on, it was the second pitch of the game. He had fallen behind the count. It was a four-seam fastball, nitro zone, middle, center cut, and Nimmo put a good swing on it. But it's the way he bounced back. Right away, he struck out Duran, struck out Seager, and then bottom of the first inning, we got something that we've been waiting for a little while now, and that was the first big bomb from the big show. Shohei Ohtani hits his first home run at Dodger Stadium this season, his fourth of the year. That ties it, and it was a breaking ball slider. He stays back on it, and when he hit it, I thought that thing had a chance to go out of the stadium. It ends up 5 or 6 rows deep in the right field pavilion, but it was the launch angle. He hit it high, and he gets the game tied. So right away, the Dodgers answer back. And then later that inning, after a one-out single from Will Smith, a walk from Freddie Freeman, Teoscar Hernandez steps up to the plate on a 1-1 count. He takes a changeup on the inside corner, and he turns on it. He crushes a bomb, a 3-run shot. That gives the Dodgers a 4-1 lead. They put up a 4 spot there in that first inning. Teoscar Hernandez batting tonight in the 6th hole. He puts up that big swing. He's looked a lot better of late. The way that he's just punishing mistakes, hammering pitches that we saw him hammer in his first year with the Dodgers, and look at the numbers so far. He's in 306 with 3 home runs, 11 RBI, and an 858 OPS, and that's your number 6 hitter. So let's think of the title of this episode. The Dodgers are scary? Yeah. They're extremely scary. They're terrifying because their number 6 hitter is a Silver Slugger winner, a 30-homer guy, a guy that will be batting 3rd or 4th in most lineups in baseball. And even with Mookie Betts out, he's batting 6th in this lineup. Things are looking good early on from Teoscar Hernandez. And he talked to Kirsten Watson after the game.
Oscar, you had yourself a 2-hit night, including a 3-run homer. Recently said that you're feeling very close when it comes to the swing. After the results tonight, how are you feeling offensively?
Man, really good. Obviously, been here and there with the timing, pitch selection, getting a good pitch to hit. It's a day-by-day thing. That you got to work on it, go out there, trust in yourself, don't use swing, and just go from there.
There was no familiarity with Jack Leiter, but when you look at just the at-bats ahead of you, the home run from Shohei Ohtani, the walk, the hit, what did you see from their at-bats that you were able to bring into yours to get that 3-homer in the first inning?
I watched a lot of videos last night. I realized that he likes to throw changeups against righties too. So that gives me an idea to where to look. I was hunting something middle in. He left one. It wasn't a bad pitch. It was just up. But, I just put a good swing on it.
You had some things, whether it was offensively, defensively. Tell me, when it comes between you and Andy Paz, are you going to put a line in the outfield that tells him that he has to stay on his side of the outfield?
I thought it was my ball, but and then I realized I was playing to the line. So I think it was my fault. But, at the end of the day, what matters is that he got the ball. We're here to have fun, enjoy what we do, and just trying to do it the best way that we can.
You guys have picked up 2 wins on the Rangers. That means you picked up the series win. Just how you guys have been able to do it, the pitching from Emmett Sheehan today. What was it like just playing from behind him?
It's just, having a plan, knowing, trusting the guy in front of you, behind you. The pitchers are doing the same thing. They know we had a pretty good team. That they just have to stay in the game, give us a chance to score some runs, and just go from there. We try to give some run support to the pitching staff early in the game so they can feel more comfortable executing the pitches and, and just make them more comfortable to believe in everything that they got.
Teoscar, congratulations on this win tonight.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Teoscar Hernandez, big night for Teo. He ends up getting that big swing that really changed everything and gave Emmett Sheehan a nice cushion, and Sheehan really took advantage of that. Now, the play that they were talking about, though, did scare me, where it's a fly ball, it's going to left field, Andy Paz has a beat on it, and I almost thought we were going to see a replay we saw in the World Series where instead of Kike getting ran over, it was Teo, and Paz making that catch. Look, that's the center fielder's ball. Yes, he was shaded a little towards left, so it kind of made some sense, but hey, at the end of the day, we know that's the center fielder's ball. They need to get on the same page. They were joking about it in the dugout. They're having a good time with it, and when you're 11-3, when you're winning games like that, no one's getting injured, you're going to feel really good. But yeah, I mean, that's one that Teo knows as a veteran that Andy Paz is going to make that play. So definitely a scary moment. I mean, Teo dealt with injuries last year. Paz is on the verge of the breakout season of the year offensively in Major League Baseball. So, hey, this team, considering all the baseball they played over the last couple years, they cannot afford to suffer injuries, especially when it's an avoidable play just like that. So, yeah, hey, I don't want to see that again. We saw Gavin Lux and Cody Bellinger, and we've seen plays like that where guys have gotten injured. Cody Bellinger broke his ribs a couple years ago because of Gavin Lux in that experiment, which was a disaster in center field. But still, a really good night for Teoscar Hernandez. He's certainly the player of the game offensively. Goes 2 for 4, has 3 RBI. Andy Paz, he has another good night. He ends up going 1 for 3, hitting 442. So both those guys contributing. But the biggest story as far as taking steps forward in this one is, let's go back to Emmett Sheehan. Emmett Sheehan on the night, he ends up allowing 3 runs on 4 hits, 6 strikeouts, 1 walk, gave up 2 home runs, and both of them were to the same guy. And it was to Brandon Nimmo. He gave the home run to the first, and then in the 6th inning, after a jung single to center, Nimmo, he gets ahead of the count. I mean, Sheehan has got him 0-2, misses with the slider down and in, non-competitive pitch, and on the 4th pitch, it's a slider. He just leaves it up a little bit, and not the worst pitch, but you got to give Nimmo credit. He put a good swing on it. And he ends up getting a 2-run shot out of that one. And at that time, it makes it a 5-3 game. But the biggest differences tonight in Emmett Sheehan is he ended up with an outing that looked more like the Emmett Sheehan that we were hoping to see this season, where it is a fastball with life. It's a fastball that does have some velocity to it, that has movement, that explodes on you. And really the big issue with Sheehan of late has been the mechanics. When you look at Emmett Sheehan and his mechanics and you watch him pitch, pay close attention to the east-west rotation when he's rotating on the mound. And yes, he does get some of that velocity and some of that power because of that east to west hip rotation, the way he coils, but it's gotten a little too extreme over his first couple starts of the season, and that's what's led to the lack of command at times. That's what's led to the velocity dip. In this one, he was getting behind the fastball. Yes, the east-west was still there, but it was more of a combination of taming that and then getting downhill. And that's what we saw from Emmett Sheehan. He was getting downhill. He was getting behind the baseball, and the numbers reflected. If you look at the velocity in this one, he was throwing the baseball a lot better. The four-seam fastball averaged 95.2 in this one after averaging 93.9 heading into the start. It was up 1.3 miles per hour. The slider was effective. The changeup was effective. And you just saw a much better version of Emmett Sheehan, a guy that's fully capable of going 6 innings. And that's what he gave you today. He gave you a quality start. A quality start, that's what? 6 innings, 3 runs. And I think it's something to really feel good about, feel positive about. He got 16 swinging strikes, which was very impressive. But it's the mechanics mechanical adjustments. And look, there was 7 days in between starts. I think that might have helped him, even if it was just a physical thing, more of a mental reset thing. And there were some concerns. I was concerned. The velocity was down. The mechanics were bad. I'm thinking, hey, River Ryan's right there. Gavin Stone's coming back. You got Blake Snell returning. Is he going to fight for his spot in the rotation? Well, the answer is, if you're going to pitch like this, especially with the Dodgers lineup that can score 5, 6, 7, 8 runs per game, depending on the night, this is the kind of start you're looking for, especially for a young pitcher. And I think when you look at Sheehan and his outing, you really feel like, hey, I'm not looking at my numbers before this start. Yes, the ERA now after this one, a 6.6 ERA, but I'm looking at from this start moving forward. 77 pitches, 54 strikes, an efficient 6 innings for Emmett Sheehan. He is my second player of the game. First is Teo. Now this is Sheehan. Drop your MV3. Every show, we got our MV3. 3 most important players that led to the win tonight. Teo's 1, Sheehan's 2. Let's hear from Sheehan from inside the Dodgers clubhouse.
I mean, when you look at your outing, I mean, I feel like outside of the 2 home runs, it seemed like the stuff was in a really good spot tonight. Did you find that? And would you say that this is probably the best that you felt this early in the regular season?
Yeah, definitely. I think, obviously there's some pitches I wanted to have back there, but delivery-wise, throw-wise, everything felt a lot better. Stuff was playing, and I was executing a lot better today, so definitely a step in the right direction.
Yeah, when you look at just kind of the bullpen and the work that you were able to do in between this one and your last outing, what do you think has been the biggest difference for you?
I think it's just a couple simple things with the delivery that were different. Connor and Mark have been great about, trying to get me on the right track, and I think it just took a couple outings for it all to click, but yeah.
How much did having the 7 days between starts benefit you?
I don't know. It definitely felt like a long time. I don't know if I felt good. I've felt good the past 3, so I don't arm-wise. I don't think it really made that much of a difference.
What's the stuff in the delivery where you would kind of figure out?
One of the big things this week was like the glove tap, just timing everything up. Before that, I feel like I was getting in good positions. I just wasn't timing everything up the right way, so I think that helped a lot.
How big of a correlation do you think there is between that, like the velocity being where you kind of want it to be?
Yeah, I think it's a big correlation.
What was different just about your week of work here with the extra day and what you guys were doing?
We got to throw 2 bullpens, which was nice. Maybe, step on it a little more in the bullpen, try to throw it a little harder and get it a little closer to game speed, which always helps.
Velocity being up, or just like the way the slider was playing, kind of the bigger thing tonight?
I don't know. I think they kind of go hand in hand, just like execution, tied in with just being confident in stuff. So, yeah, I think it kind of goes hand in hand.
How difficult is it to know what's maybe wrong with your delivery timing-wise and be able to actually implement it, actually get the changes to be consistent, stuff like that?
Yeah, it can definitely be tough sometimes. Past month and a half, we've been trying to work on it, and, it felt like at times it wasn't, progressing the way it should, but, just stuck with it.
So there was Emmett Sheehan, an impressive outing, the velocity up, an efficient 77 pitches. And how about this? If Brandon Nimmo wasn't in there, that start probably looks even better because Nimmo ends up with the 2 home runs in this one. And outside of that, he had 3 extra base hits on the night. He drove in all 3 of the Rangers' runs off of Sheehan. But the rest of the Rangers lineup, they had just 1 hit and 18 at-bats. They drew a walk. He had 6 strikeouts. So to see him go through the lineup 3+ times, I think you get a lot of confidence from this start if you're Emmett Sheehan. So nice work from Sheehan. Okay, after that, who else had a positive? I see you guys talk about Kyle Tucker. I'll talk Kyle Tucker. Did not have the best night. So hasn't looked like that all-star, that MVP. I say he's going to be the second best player on this team offensively this year. Hasn't looked like that as of yet. But Jack Dreyer had a really impressive bounce-back performance. He struck out the side in the 7th. And then Tanner Scott. Did I not promise you a bounce-back season from Tanner Scott? Did I not promise you? And yes, it's still extremely early, but a perfect 8th inning. The 8th that he pitched, a perfecto 8th inning on 9 pitches. He even was able to get out the man of the night, Brandon Nimmo, Finding Nimmo. They found it against him, and it was Tanner Scott. And then the Dodgers had some insurance runs. Teoscar Hernandez, he had a double to open the 8th inning. Then he was scored on by a single from Andy Pajes, so you get some insurance runs. Got to get that insurance. And then it was Blake Treinen to get the 9th. Edwin Diaz threw 23 pitches yesterday, had his first blown save of the season. The velocity was down. He wasn't used in this save situation. We didn't hear Narco by Timmy Trumpets. It was Blake Treinen pitching with a 3-run lead in the 9th. And Blake, he did allow 2 runners to reach, one by a walk, and the other one was an error by Max Muncy. They had the tying run at the plate. Blake Treinen was able to strike out Andrew McCutchen. That led to the second out of the inning. And instead of having Blake Treinen go up against the lefty Evan Carter, give Dave Roberts some credit. Dave makes the right move. He presses the right button. He goes with the lefty Alex Vesia on his 30th birthday. And they have the pinch hitter Danny Jensen. And Jensen, a righty, first the lefty, Alex Vesia, full count, strikes him out to get the dub on his 30th birthday. So home runs for Shohei Teo. Brandon Nimmo hit one. Emmett Sheehan was the winning pitcher. And Alex Vesia gets his first save of the season. The Dodgers going for that sweep of the Rangers tomorrow. 1:10 start. You got Roki Sasaki versus Jacob deGrom. Okay, now that we got the game taken care of, I do want to get to some other stuff on this one. And the first thing I want to talk about is I think he's he's either a Rangers fan or he was someone that's working for the Texas Rangers network. But this Rangers dude was trying to start some drama, trying to rage bait Dodgers fans in the pavilion. Here, let's check it out.
Let's go Rangers! Let's go Rangers! Let's go Rangers! Woo! Let's go Rangers! High five! Ah! Let's go Rangers! Come on! We got a Rangers fan! Let's go Dodgers! What? What'd you say, ma'am?
You haven't won anything in a very long time. You should try.
It's been 2 years! No! Let's go Rangers! Let's go Rangers! Let's go Rangers! Let's go Rangers! Oh! Yo! He mad! Yo! What's this guy saying? What's up, big guy? What'd you say?
I said tucking your shirt more is not tucked in enough.
Will do, dog. Appreciate you. No, none of that. Security's saying none of that. None of that. None of that. Let's go Rangers! Hey, go Rangers!
Hey, go Dodgers! Welcome to LA!
Yo!
Bruh. First of all, I love the guy that said, hey, man, your shirt's not tucked in enough. Look, I mean, first of all, look, do you think that Dodgers fans care at all whatsoever about the Texas Rangers? The Dodgers have literally won as many World Series titles that you have in your franchise history in your stadium as you have. The Dodgers do not care about the Rangers. They don't care about their fans. The Rangers have to be one of the most forgettable franchises in the history of this game. Sure, you have a World Series, great, but you think that Dodgers fans care about Rangers fans or their team? Like, bro. Also, why? Like, that's the thing. People start trying to talk about Dodgers fans and getting rowdy and whatnot, and then you're going to do that. You're going to try to instigate. I mean, come on, man. This dude just is an absolute troll. That is the most relevant he's going to be all season. It really is. Talking about the Dodgers and their fans. Let's go Rangers. Bro, that is the most embarrassing thing I've ever seen this season. The fact that the Dodgers have as many World Series titles in your home stadium, and you want to come to L.A. and try to talk some smack? Let's read some comments here. I mean, the facts, right? I mean, like, bro, mommy didn't give you enough attention. Mommy and daddy didn't give you enough attention, so you got to go to Dodgers Stadium to try to troll the Dodgers fans with a failed bit that wasn't even funny or entertaining at all. You got double birds flipped to you from Dodgers. Here we got In-N-Out greater than side Whataburger. We got luckily we won, or could have went very wrong. He was there all night. He's okay. The Rangers, are they from exactly Texas Rangers, right? I mean, who said that entered the game from Rose Soto? Andy Chen said he's lucky. Oh, come on now. No. What's up, Ron Fig? Rangers choked big time in 2011. There we go. I care about the range from my couch to the toilet from Morgan. Walker, Texas Ranger, greater than signed Texas Rangers from Jose Gary. That guy was there yesterday, too. We've got Lions don't worry about what sheeps are. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. A king doesn't care about a pawn. Okay? I just found that pretty hilarious. Okay, speaking of trolls, Blake Trinan, he was on the mound today at Dodger Stadium facing live hitters. And Blake Snell, I should say. Sorry, Blake Trinan was in tonight. I'm talking about Blake Snell. Blake Snell tonight in the dugout, having a good time. But in the afternoon, he threw today through a live BP session. And before we talk about that, it was the first time this year he faced hitters. Tommy Edman and Alex Call are two of the batters that he faced. Last night, Blake Snell responded to a troll on his live stream. And, let's give a listen, and we'll react to this, and we'll give you Blake Snell and what he had to say about it today.
Geeked off the injured list. Like, I can fucking control that. Hey, shoulder, don't have inflammation. Don't pitch in the postseason when your shoulder didn't feel good. Don't try to win a World Series. Oh, you can't start the season because your shoulder still hurts from pitching? We'll figure it. Like, what the fuck you want me to do? Language. Hello. Let's see what other songs we got here, ladies and gentlemen. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what are we talking about? Like, these motherfuckers crazy. Migs, what's up, baby? I see you, boy. No rest that shoulder. Yeah, like, it's crazy. It's stupid.
All right, so language, yes, but why do these? He doesn't need to respond to these fans. He really doesn't. But I kind of like that he does. Like Blake Snell is a one-of-one guy. He's extremely unique, and he's authentic to himself. He's not trying to be anyone other than Blake Snell. And I think that's a big reason why he signed with the Dodgers and why he's a part of this organization, because they allow him to be Snellzilla. In other organizations, I think he was more Blake Snell every day. But in the Dodgers organization, they're absolutely fine with him being Snellzilla. And he did talk about it. We'll get to that clip in a second. But the most important thing is Snell's on the mound today facing hitters for the first time since the World Series. And he threw 15 pitches in a live bullpen session. It was a short session, but still a major step forward. It was the first time facing hitters, like I said, since October. He still has more throwing to do. You want to get him up to 3-4 innings and send him out to that rehab assignment. He's going to go out on an extended minor league rehab assignment before joining the Dodgers rotation. And we could see him maybe at some point at the end of May. It could stretch into June, potentially. But that was a big step today. It was great to see him on the mound. And now let's hear Blake Snell. He addressed that fan. And I'll talk more about that here. But here's Blake Snell talking about throwing a live BP, talking about the trolls. Here was Snellzilla from today at Dodger Stadium.
I know you talked about being like kind of be cautious coming off the offseason, but like were you starting to get a little antsy too to like be back out there and face hitters? Just how much were you kind of looking forward to this stuff today?
Yeah, no, I was looking forward to it a lot. I just missed pitching. It's what I love. So to be able to do that again, like I was very excited coming to the field today. Like I finally get a throw and pitch and see where I'm at, see if I'm good, bad, kind of figure myself out. But no, I was excited. I mean, I've been throwing bullpens, and you know, when you throw bullpens all the time, you never get face hitters. It's tough to stay locked in, and to finally face hitters, it feels good. There's a lot I got to work on still, but just facing hitters and being on the mound and pitching in a stadium, yeah, it's pretty amazing.
What's different about what you're doing this year in the build-up as opposed to like what you're saying that you weren't doing last year when you're trying to work your way back?
Yeah, I'm just, I went back to some old workouts that I did, you know, when I was a rookie all the way till, you know, not too long ago, and then added Pilates. I think that's helped me a ton, and then dieting, just eating better food, and yeah, I think all of that's kind of played a part.
When you're working your way back in the build-up, like how much is the build-up, like just the physical build-up part of it, and how much it is like the finer stuff like you're mentioning, where like how the ball's coming out of your hand and like wanting to make sure mechanically you're dialed in where you want to be?
Yeah, no, it's that's my word.
Sorry.
I said it. I got to reply to him. Yeah, no, but it's a big part. Like, yeah, every time you throw the ball, there's feedback you can get, and it's like my job to learn it and see what I like, don't like. And then when you get out here, you know, like the intensity goes up just because you're competing. So with that, you want to, you know, am I still in a good place to release the ball? Is my delivery still the same? Am I not like getting out of my delivery? It really matters.
We've seen online that you've interacted with fans, some positive, some negative. You want to talk to my shoulder too?
Yeah, man.
How do you block all that out and not try to rush yourself to get back hearing all that stuff when you're gaming?
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to game with my people. Them trolls when I get in there and I got something to say. I should watch my language a little bit, but outside of that, I mean, it's pretty true. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to have fun. I'm going to be myself. Yeah, I got to watch my language, though. My mom sees that. She probably will.
I think everybody's seen it.
Yeah, I ain't got the call yet, but it's coming.
How do you block all that noise out and just stick to your process so you don't have a setback?
Yeah, I mean, it's opinions, you know, from people that I would never listen to for, you know, suggestions, so it doesn't matter. It doesn't mean I'm not going to have fun with it and troll back. I'll do that, but I should watch my mouth.
Anything you want to say to your left shoulder right now?
No, I like where it's at.
Is the shoulder a good listener?
I think so. Yeah, I've been listening to it, so to finally be able to talk back was good.
Before your next slide, what do you want to make sure that you focus in on?
Yeah, like number one, bounce back. Number two, continue to stride. You know, get better from this start. So take what I liked from it, what I didn't like, and then create a plan going into the next day I throw, and really, you know, take strides forward. Yeah, the next one I want to be more crisp. I want to hit locations more. Today was more about just throwing strikes, being in the zone, being confident, getting, you know, reactions from hitters, seeing if they hit the ball, if the stuff plays like I think it is, or if it's behind with how they hit the ball. So all that kind of mattered, but then the next one's more location, fine-tuning. You know, I only have probably 2-3 weeks. I don't know how long it is, but I only have so many starts left before I'm back, so I really have to hone in and make sure these weeks are very important and I'm taking the steps the right way.
Thank you.
There was Blake Snell, man. Big vibes. I don't know who walked by. He's like, hello. Blake Snell cracks me up, man. Now, getting back to the Blake Snell experience as far as the rehab goes, essentially you have to view this as him starting his spring training right now. And Dave Roberts did say before the game that he doesn't know how many of these sessions he's going to need before he does go and start that rehab assignment. He did say that you're going to need at least 2 or 3 of these outings before going on that minor league rehab assignment. And when you go on that minor league rehab assignment, you got 30 days. You can make anywhere from 3 to 5 starts. Dave said, this one for me personally is just an exercise. I'm not really looking for command, to be quite honest. Just getting out there, competing against hitters, and just trying to get through it. Call it a 20-pitch exercise, and he didn't even throw his first bullpen session until March 20th. I mean, he's really been behind. He's been throwing off of a mound since, but this is the first time that he's been facing hitters in a live game. He did, like I said, he did face Tommy Edman. He did face Alex Call. He faced Edman from both sides, left and right, with Edman being a switch hitter. And I think for where Snell is at, you just got to protect his buildup. You really do. And Dave did say that he is going to face hitters in a 2-inning simulated game at some point this upcoming week. So they're going to build up from there, expect at least 3 more of these, and then he goes on that minor league rehab assignment. As far as that knucklehead fan trying to troll Blake Snell, bruh, he's got 2 Cy Youngs. Bruh, he's got a World Series title. He pitched fantastic in the postseason last year. This guy knows what he's doing, and look, he's got inflammation in his shoulder, and you got to also remember the organization that he's pitching for. This is not about Blake Snell. This is about the Dodgers collaborating to get what they paid for in Blake Snell. The Dodgers don't care at all about Snell pitching 150-plus innings and going for a 3rd Cy Youngs. They couldn't care less about that. The only thing the Dodgers care about with Blake Snell is that he's going to be ready, available, and optimal and pitching at a Cy Young level when it matters most in October. If all Blake Snell did in his time with the Dodgers was be an elite starting pitcher in October, then that's all they would care about. Of course, you need to ramp up, so you need to get adequate innings. But still, let's not forget, this is a guy that really was dominant in the postseason last year. He really was. This is someone that, yeah, of course, Yamamoto, rightfully so, gets the World Series MVP, and he definitely pitched better than him in the World Series. But Blake Snell still got those 4 big outs in Game 7, and he was incredible in the Phillies series, the complete game in the Brewers series. And if you look at his numbers total in the postseason last year, Snell, he had a 3.18 ERA. He had 34 innings of work, had 41 strikeouts to 13 walks. It was the most strikeouts by a Dodger in postseason history. And if you look at the regular season, he only went 61 in the 3rd innings, but still had a 2.35 ERA. So, look, whatever it takes to have Blake Snell healthy and you don't want to compromise him, you have the depth. And today, you go back to Emmett Sheehan and you feel really good about that. The fact that the depth is there, even behind him, to say, hey, you don't need to be desperate for Blake Snell. Most organizations are like, hey, man, where's our $182 million man? Like, look at the Diamondbacks and Corbin Burns, right? It's a death blow to a team that goes out there and spends on a big ace and he's not able to pitch. They do not need that, and that's the luxury this organization has. But coming up next, we're going to hear from Dave Roberts, his reaction to Emmett Sheehan's start tonight. And then we got a big update on Tommy Edman. But first, we got an update. We got a word from our friends over at Mountain Dew.
There are home runs and then there are blasts. This year, when a home run is hit 420 feet, you can score a free Baja Blast. Fans can visit BajaBlastHomeRuns.com to sign up. Add a Mountain Dew Baja Blast card to your mobile wallet and redeem their free Baja Blast the day after a qualifying homer of 420 feet or more is hit anywhere nationwide. Follow at Mountain Dew and at MLB for live updates, exclusive content, and behind-the-scenes access. Here's a season of Baja Blast on the field and Baja Blast at the park. Enjoy a Mountain Dew Baja Blast, the official soft drink of Major League Baseball.
All right, so the update on Tommy Edman is I've been seeing Tommy Edman on the field. He's doing his running. He's getting his rehab in. Dave said that he's looking at an end of May timeline for Tommy Edman, that he's still not running at full speed, but he did say that Edman is behind Kike Hernandez in terms of buildup. So that's pretty interesting with Kike still working his way back from that offseason elbow, shoulder, arm surgery that he had. And he's another guy that, yeah, you want to rush him back, but at the same token, I think the beauty in all of this is we're getting a really good chance to see Alex Freeland and Haesung Kim. So every single game we're going to talk about those two because they're in evaluation phase. Alex Freeland had a really nice double play that he turned. Really great play at second base. I'm not going to give him, to me, second base and the defensive play there is not the big deal breaker for me because we know that Ha-Seong Kim can play elite second base. So that's just not the second place. That's almost expected. Like being a good defender, an above average defender at second base, based on how the roster is right now, you better be a good second baseman. That's just a given at this point. Offensively, did not have his best night. Freeland goes 0 for 4, had 2 strikeouts. Kim, he goes 1 for 3 and drew a walk. So he's hitting 364. Very limited sample size. But still, another good night for Ha-Seong Kim at the plate. And just the at-bat quality. I mean, you saw last night, 2 strikes. He gets the ball in the air, got a sacrifice fly. I'm looking for the little things, the big league-ish things. Sac flies, hitting with 2 strikes, not getting overpowered by velocity, putting the ball in play. Those are the things I'm looking for. And also some stellar play at shortstop, which is a premium position. But here, let's hear from Dave Roberts, who talked about Emmett Sheehan's outing. The Dodgers win again. 6-3 winners over Texas. And they're fans that are trying to troll Dodgers fans in the pavilion. So let's hear from Doc.
I thought Emmett was very good tonight. I think that the last 3 outings, each of them, he's gotten better. And for me, that's the message. I think in totality, however many pitches he threw, I think that a lot better quality of pitch making, the stuff. And so that's something for us to build on. And I thought the sequencing was better. I thought the delivery stayed intact. And yeah, there's a couple balls that we like to have back. But I think for me, he's a guy that should, get through 6 innings. He's physical. He has a lot of different pitches. And so this is an outing that, again, we take a couple pitches back, then it's a completely different outing, but it was certainly a positive for me.
In line with guys just kind of getting on track, when you look at Jack Dreyer, for him to strike out the side today, especially after an outing in Toronto in which he was just kind of getting back on the contact, I mean, for him, a young player, what did it say is just how he's able to kind of switch back on and kind of get things going so quickly in a next outing?
It speaks to his makeup. He's got a very good head, and he adjusted from his last outing in Toronto. And, it was important to get him back out there. And, you saw the command today. The fastball was located. The slider was good and really efficient. That's who he is. And so not surprising. And it was, like I said, it was just good to get him back out there.
With Emmett, just kind of game state and bullpen aside, what can facing the top of the order 3rd time through, like having to push through that 6th inning do for him from a development sense?
I think it's confidence, and I don't recall the last time he finished 6 innings, and certainly with spring training and this season, and it's been a while. So I think for him to go through 2.5 times or 3 times, a little over 3 times, 3.5 times, was great for him, great for the confidence, and his arsenal should lend itself to that. And so, again, you can fret over a couple pitches or you can kind of build on the positives. And for me, to get through 6 innings and to feel like there's more in there, which there was more in there, I chose to go to Dreyer, but there was still more in there. So that was a good thing. And, again, whenever he's slotted into pitch, I think it's going to keep getting better.
There was Dave Roberts talking about the Dodgers win. Yeah, he felt really good about Sheehan. I think if you go back and watch the game, just look at the swings against Sheehan. That's where you'll learn everything you need to know about how good a pitcher is. It's not the velocity. It's not reading the gun. Yes, it's a factor, but it is the swings that they induce. You saw a lot of check swings. And when you see check swings, that's when you know that hitters don't know what's coming. If they're looking for fastball, they see slider, they see another pitch, that's when you know the mix is right and the stuff is good. So that was definitely a positive sign. But I see you guys lighting up the chat. See a lot of comments I want to get into. We'll get to that next. But first, a word from our friends over at Shopify.